Hello, beautiful people. Tamara Childs here, and I just wanted to talk with you a little bit about the energy right now this week as we're counting down to the solstice. The solstice is tomorrow, and I was even looking and noticing how dark it's getting. I thought, I've got to do this today while the light is waning because we are in this very darkest moment of the year. Um, So, just as a new moon, the dark before the new moon feels the darkest, it's the same at the solstice. Sometimes I think of the cycles that we go through as being like little nesting dolls. You know, how you have a cycle inside a cycle inside a cycle. And so right now, just like we have that lunar cycle where things get kind of dark and kind of dormant. Now we're in the northern hemisphere, we're in that dormant, quiet, kind of really frozen cycle right before the light starts to, gets to the lowest point and then it starts to go up again. And so I just call your attention to this because we live in a culture that has what I call the 24-hour workday, where we're expected to sort of be robots and be, feeling the same every single day and controlling natural cycles. Well, that just, first of all, nature is stronger than anything else that we've created. So it's important to just keep tuning in, checking in with the cycle that we're in together, because it makes things so much more rewarding when we are in tune with our cycle and with the cycle that a lot of us are in. So as we go to the solstice, a reminder to use this moment. You can use it as a way of putting your year to bed. We think of putting our year to bed on the 31st of December, but that's the Gregorian calendar, which is just an arbitrary system that we superimposed over the natural system that we already have. And so using this as your new year is a really wonderful way to capture this energy for you and to allow growth to happen. So the solstice being tomorrow, it's a wonderful time. You can do this as a ritual, or you can do it just energetically, but just look at what worked, look at what didn't work, and put it all to bed. You can, do a little fire and burn whatever you want to let go of in the fire. That's one way to do it. Whatever works for you, because after this, there's a harnessing of the light that comes back. And remember that light is information. You are patterns of light and information. And so it's exciting for us as beings of light when we watch the cyclical changes in our solar system with our own sun. So this is why it even matters, is because the light inside of us goes, this is a new cycle. So just think of it that way. And you can ritualize it however makes sense to you, however you enjoy. That's the first thing I want to say. So yay, the light is about to come back. And so we're about to be moving into a more expansive space, even though we're still in winter, of course. We're just starting winter. I want to talk about the new moon. So we've got a new moon coming up. And this new moon is at 1 degrees of Capricorn, and it is square Jupiter. The new moon is about constructive new beginnings, especially in Capricorn. We're going to be wanting, Capricorn's ambitious. It wants to climb a mountain. The mountain doesn't have to be an easy climb. We're willing to put in the work to construct something new. So think of something that is, especially in your Capricorn area of your chart, that you want to begin or construct or build. And this is a wonderful moment to capture that energy as well. Square Jupiter is like It's a lot of enthusiasm, and so we have to have some checks and balances for sure. You know, we have to check our enthusiasm with some reality or just checking our progress in real time. But it's, you know, there's nothing wrong with having an explosion of enthusiasm either, and getting excited, because a square is always energy wherever it is. So we want to harness that energy, even if it's just internal right now, even if you just pull that energy into your body and just start to, you know, construct the blueprint for the dream that you have next, what you want next in your life, especially in the Capricorn slice of your pie. So that's a really great way to track that. Um, when we move into Christmas Day, um, there are a few things that are going on. It's hard to put this all into words, but you know, the moon is going to be in the same sign as Saturn for over Christmas. And just remember that this is kind of it's a more somber tone, and it's a more, um, it tends to, you know, Saturn does the opposite of what Jupiter does. It tends to reduce or dry out the emotions and make them more, feel more reduced or strained, even. So there could be, I just want to point that out, that that's an energy that we may be looking at. So it may feel like a more serious Christmas. Also, just keep in mind every time the moon is in Aquarius, it's saying hello to, you know, the Scorpio Taurus nodes, which have to do with destiny, with direction, with moving away from the past, and to some degree with a square, pressure to move into the future that you choose, and having to make a choice to do that. So you may be feeling like this uh, surge of energy to change something in your life that you've been dealing with. Also, Uranus. So Uranus is also there. So we've got a square. It's activating that. Even though this is the last time, really, because we're going to be moving, Saturn's going to be moving on in March, we're still feeling that, like, am I living the life that I really want to? And what are the changes I really need to make? What are the new choices, the new creative parts of your life that need to be activated? Because squares are activation. They're a feeling of pressure or needing to do something, like, I've got to do this thing. So just pay attention to that. You're at the end of a whole 2-year cycle where you've been working on this for 2 years. You've been trying to get out of a box for 2 years. And this is just brushing that off, just saying, okay, here we are again. We're looking at this, this energy of you being free. We're looking at an energy of you being free from the constrictions and the stuffiness and the have-tos and the shoulds that you've had. The only other thing I'm going to mention for this week has to do with Venus connecting with Pluto. And so, you know, when those two come together, it's like there is going to be something this week where you're going to feel desire for something strongly. It's going to be, you know, this is in your Capricorn slice. So think about the new thing that you want to start. Is this due to an intense desire that you have for something to articulate there, for something to be built there or to manifest? You know, Capricorn is it's an earth sign, and it's very ambitious. So what are your ambitions? What do you want? What have you been developing desire for? That is one way to see this conjunction. And even like, who or what has prevented you from having your desires come to fruition? Because Pluto tends to be like a battle with the demons, a battle with feeling like, I would love this, but there's this thing happening there that won't let me do that, or but for this other structure I have going that is just not preventing me to be free. It's a really complex bunch of energies. You know, I feel like you're going to get some ideas this week that you're going to want to build on early in next year, especially after Mars gets direct. I really recommend that. There are better launch times than right this second, and just keep that in mind. And most of all, just take really good care of yourself right now, because I always am talking to the empaths and the highly sensitive ones, and just understand that if there's something that you want to create that's a dream of yours that you've been wanting, you're the architect of that. You've had that dream and you've wanted to make it real. Don't be deterred by other people's prison structures and their boxes, and other people who are having the same feelings of pressure with the square energy, where they're like, oh, there's this thing I need, but I can't do that. Just remember, and I'll do a more in-depth series on this in the new year, that you are a reader of energy. And so don't make that energy yours. Just you be in your beautiful world, creating what you need to create for yourself, and you let other people have their own experience. So I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear in the comments or reply back wherever you're seeing this. Let me know how you're going to ritualize the solstice, and what are some of your dreams and wishes for the new year, for the new moon in Capricorn. It is a turning point at the end of this year. And so what are you putting to sleep for yourself, and what are you dreaming up as new? So that's it for now. I'm wishing you wonderful holidays, and I will speak with you next year.